evolved to this series of short and crisp video conversations with experts in the field. There are five of them, and what you're going to see now following this introduction are three. I'll come to that later. In war, truth is a casualty. It is an old metaphor, cliched and tossed around for centuries, whether it was ancient poets or today's leaders. In conflicts like India-Pakistan, the truth gets buried under a pile of misinformation and propaganda. The real fight often happens in the information space, where narratives are shaped, where lives are lost on the ground. Take the May 2025 flare-up. Indian strikes in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir kicked off a messy war of words. India claimed that they hit terrorist infrastructure with precision. Pakistan responded that civilians were killed and Indian jets were drowned. Now, civilians were killed wherever the terrorist sites were, who were living there with their families. Now, what happened as a consequence was the social media turned it into a circus, with both sides digging in and no one backing down. In fact, people on both the sides did sort of express their condolence and sorrow, etc., of what happened. But there you are. There are unintended consequences of a war where innocent civilians die. In this light, we bring you a compilation drawn from discussions with former officials, geopolitical experts, and military officials exploring the ramifications of this informational warfare. It examines the risks of suspending the Indus Water Treaty by India, strategies for long-term deterrence, and the role of digital platforms in amplifying false narratives. External powers, such as the US, China, and Russia, further complicate the dynamics, often exacerbating the misinformation. For example, President Trump must have claimed at least 20 times that he was responsible for the deterrent in the India-Pak war when nothing like that actually happened. But I suppose his aim is to get a Nobel Peace Prize for something which he didn't do. When he became president, he had said that he'll stop the Ukraine war in a day, and the scene there is actually getting worse and worse. Having said that, the 2025 India-Pak conflict revealed India's media ecosystem shaped by a robust digital landscape and political climate as particularly susceptible to disinformation compared to Pakistan's. One basic difference, for example, India thinks that it beat Pakistan while Pakistan believes that it beat India, but that's been Pakistan's standard excuse. Even during the very momentous 71 war when Bangladesh was created. Anyway, the discussion that you're going to follow underscore a critical truth. Controlling the narrative remains a potent weapon, often outspacing independent verification and shaping public perceptions in the enduring rivalry. And public perception, mind you, not just within these two countries, but across the world. India sent out very large number of delegations of members of parliament around the world. And often the question was asked as to what is the evidence that there were Pakistani terrorists who hit the innocent Hindu civilians in Pahalgam on April 22nd, 24. Having said that, 25. The three following interviews that we have, short interviews, as I said. The first one is by former Ambassador Ajay Bisaria, who used to be India's High Commissioner to Pakistan, and his last posting was as High Commissioner to Canada. He speaks on the Indus Water Treaty abeyance, while on the other hand, the next chapter is by Sumir Bhasin, a geopolitical analyst and writer who has spent a lot of his formative years in Afghanistan. He speaks on the Taliban's strategic calculus in balancing ties between India and Pakistan. Finally, in this particular episode, you have General Arvinder Singh Lamba, former Vice Chief of the Army Staff, a highly decorated soldier and a very knowledgeable one at that. He speaks on the aftermath of the disinformation in the India-Pakistan conflict. With that, happy viewing, and we'll come back with two more such sharp, crisp interviews as we go along. Thank you. Have a good day.